Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to the final. It is definitely going to be the final game of the semi-final series between Bomber and TaeJa for, you guessed it, the WCS Season 2 final tournament. And there was way too many finals in that sentence, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So far, Bomber won the first two games pretty well. He did an extremely good job, and TaeJa came back and won the third and fourth game. Last game was actually pretty crazy, just absolutely all over the place. But excellent victory there by TaeJa, and we are down to game number 5, to the ace match of this best of 5 series, and only one player can win and move on to the grand final versus xhaidong. So it's definitely going to be a TVZ coming up. And I think at this stage, either Bomber versus xhaidong or TaeJa versus xhaidong is going to be incredibly insane, no matter who wins it. So the only question is, who is it going to be? And I really can't say anymore. I thought that Bomber just had the momentum so bad, he was just owning all over the place. But now, with TaeJa having taken 2 games in a row, I feel like the momentum is definitely on his side. And Bomber, I mean, he's just going to have to do the absolute best he can to try and wrest this series away from TaeJa. But, I mean, TaeJa's, I don't know. I mean, it's still definitely possible that Bomber could just go out and just go boom and just knock TaeJa off his feet like he did in the first 2 games. So, yeah, it's just absolutely insane. I've just got to take a drink for a second. Ah, that's better. So, speaking of absolutely insane, Bomber going for an extremely early expansion. I think this was before the barracks. TaeJa is going to scout it straight off, and this suddenly is not looking that good for Bomber, I gotta say. Basically his plan has been out there. TaeJa can go for a concerted attack early on with just a bunch of barracks like Triple M, that sort of stuff, and Bomber is going to be at a disadvantage to try and hold it off. There we go, there's a factory coming out, so probably some Hellions, maybe a very fast Banshee, something like that. This is a proxy factory over here, so I don't know why it's a proxy. Maybe for Hellions, maybe he's just hoping to sneak some Widow Mines in there. He's actually sending forces over ASAP. We're going to... Bomber should be able to hold this off, but it's going to be tough. Maybe we'll even be seeing a bunker rush to sort of stop Bomber from expanding over there, and that would be huge. If TaeJa can pull that off, that would be huge. And then some Hellion harass. Doesn't look like he's doing that, though. He's just sending Marines out at the moment to sort of contain him. He's got his factory down at the moment. We do have it looks like it's going to be Proxy Banshee down here, using the factory to produce the tac lab nice and fast. And meanwhile, Bomber pushing over. He's got his own factory up, but he is going to be in a lot of trouble very, very soon. And he has got no idea. He could not have any idea that this is coming, because of course he's not going to scout over there anytime soon. And this is basically what these 2 Marines are over there. They are not trying any sort of actual pressure. They're just there to prevent any sort of scouting from Bomber. Because obviously, if Bomber goes in there, scouts this base off and sees a single barracks, then Bomber is going to be like, oh shit, there's a proxy somewhere. So, yes, there we go. A couple of Widow Mines coming out. Banshee is coming out, and Cloak is coming out. So TaeJa has put all of his eggs in this basket. And considering it's a proxy, it's going to take way too long for these guys to move back. Well, this guy's going to start moving back, but this guy's going to stay out there. Widow Mine coming across, doing a bit of a look for something here. I don't know if he's expecting to jump over with a medevac. Here he goes. He's actually got a plant over there. Maybe hoping when the Banshee runs away, if a Viking's chasing it, that boom, Viking gets taken out. So that's actually not a bad move. This is probably not a bad place to put it. I guess moving all the way over there would just take way too long. But anyway, he's going to be pushing the Banshee out there. So that's nice. So that's like a counter-offensive Widow Mine there to aid in the Banshee harass. I really actually like that play. It's going to be really awesome. So anyway, the Banshee coming in, going for the expansion. Is going to hit this bunker though. and that is not going to be good. He's actually choosing to go for them, but Bomber has managed to get out a lot of Marines. And these guys are just running away right now because they know that Cloak is going to be very, very quickly on the way. And here we go. The workers starting to get taken out. There's a missile turret over there, though. He's just outside range. And now he's just inside range. So got to get out of there. Cloak. Oh, but awful timing there. Awful timing for TaeJa. Just as he was about to safely cloak when he was low health, the Marines came in from the side, wiped him out. So that is not good. And second Banshee going to be coming on in. The Widowmine choosing to move out a little bit forward. Probably going to be countering the scouting guys for the proxy. Meanwhile, taking out some of these guys, but the Cloak now out. He's going to have to rely on scans, and he wants to make sure he keeps away from the Marines for the most part. And now, there we go, taking out a ton of damage, and that Banshee is not going to get away either. Viking take it out at the very last second. Meanwhile, Banshee coming in here. No workers actually mining here, though, so TaeJa is a little bit behind on the workers. But he does still have a decent amount of workers, and the Banshee is going to start taking them out right here. And TaeJa not prepared at all for this Banshee counterattack, and he's just going nuts. Absolutely going to work. And I have to say, at this game, at the very least, Bomber has kept the Banshee defense a lot better than TaeJa has. This Banshee is just owning him all over the place. Whereas Bomber did a much better job of keeping the Banshee at bay, doing a great job of just, yeah, just taking it down. I suppose he had quite a bit of luck as well, but it was yeah. So anyway, TaeJa, so far, this will be his third Banshee moving in, and so far the previous two did a bit of damage. But so far, this one Banshee from Bomber has taken out more workers than both of the previous Banshees for TaeJa. And that is not a good thing. That is not a good thing at all. So the third Banshee coming in, looking to take out some workers. Taking out the workers producing the gas. That's going to be nice and annoying. 3 workers going down nice and quickly. 4 workers, 5 workers. This Banshee starting to do a really, really nice job. Eventually gets taken out, but that's definitely done a bit of a better job. And the starport has been taken away from there. So nice job from TaeJa, choosing when to take his starport back. He possibly could have taken it back a little bit earlier, but he definitely didn't leave it there too late. So great job there. And he's still got this one Widowmine out the front, but so far Bomber a little bit ahead economically. I think as far as production value go, he's definitely looking very, very sweet. He's got 4 barracks on top of his third command center, which he's currently building. If you have a look at the structures, TaeJa has 3 barracks as on top of the other sort of stuff. And he's not, I don't think he's currently building another base. He does have one already though. He does have a 3rd base already. So he's in a pretty good position at the moment himself. I don't think he's behind. He's behind in terms of army. Do we have that? We've got active forces. Oh, sorry, that's the units tab. Of course it's the units tab. What am I saying? But if we have a look here, Bomber definitely has a better force count right now. He's got a better amount of Marines. It's about 10 more Marines. And he's got the Air Force as well, which he got up nice and early to deal with those Banshees. So right now, he's in a pretty good position. TaeJa starting to get a bit of a siege tank advantage here. But yeah, I do not know. I do not know if that's going to necessarily do everything for him, because you still need the Marines to sort of help out. And right now, he's really got to get a lot more Marines out. And he knows that, and he's getting out these 2 guys with the reactors on him. So he's going to make it work, but the force for Bomber is going to start to move over there right now. And no doubt Bomber is going to use this point to get out a 3rd base at the same time. So there's his 3rd base just about to finish. He's going to start moving it over there. Ironically, he's actually got a Widowmine blocking that, so that's going to be interesting. But here we go, scouting SCV, just looking for the army to come in, I think that must be. And he's actually doing a bit of a drop over there, but he's going to need every bit of forces he can possibly have. There we go, moving over there, trying to defend the 3rd base as well, but I think that's a bit of a long shot. He's just going to have to concentrate on holding back on his main base. And he can see that. He's going to pull back over here. You're going to get those guys over there. I don't like those on the southern shelf though, because they're way open to Banshee attacks. Although that one Banshee is almost dead anyway. You could probably still do a couple of not Reaper bombs, Raven bombs on those tanks from the south side. But TaeJa, he's definitely got the Marines out. 38, but 65 for Bomber. That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And Bomber must have, yeah, he's got barracks all over the place. Completely insane. These guys are going to try and help stop the reinforcements, but even the reinforcements are just completely nuts. So right now, Bomber has the contain, and he has TaeJa locked on 2 bases. And yeah, and TaeJa trying to push out with tanks here to try and make this work is just not going to work. It's just not going to work. I mean, although Bomber doesn't really have the tank numbers, so he's going to try and do that, but he's going to lose so many Marines trying to do this. And he's going to try and do it. There we go. He's making it work, but Marine reinforcements coming in. And so far he's pushed out a little bit. I don't think it's quite enough to get a 3rd base though. So he's going to have to, I don't know. He needs Marines. He needs Marines so badly. He's currently producing 11 at a time, and that's good. But it's still, he needs Marines so badly. He's actually, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's actually I'm saying he's probably not tank heavy at the moment. But he needs Marines. He needs Marines to cover his tanks properly. So there we go. The tank line out the middle, and all Bomber is trying to do is keep TaeJa contained. Make sure that he can't get his 3rd base, and TaeJa pushing out a bit here, managing to cover most of this ramp with these tanks down here. And now he's going to risk getting the command center out, but Bomber can still push in on the south side, try and make something work, and we will have to see if that happens. I mean, Bomber has this base covered with this one Marine. He knows that TaeJa isn't doing something here. They've actually got a drop coming down here, just a bit of damage, but Bomber should be able to clean this up fairly quickly. He's actually going to have a little bit of a knee jerk there, taking all of his Marines back, leaving all of his tanks exposed. That was a very knee jerk reaction right there. And TaeJa could have maybe made something happen there if he knew it was happening, but I don't think he did. And we got a Raven Bomb coming on somewhere, going in for this tank. Not all that good. TaeJa definitely he really does need a bit of air stuff to deal with those Ravens and those Vikings. But a nice little bit of drop in the corner there. Beautiful plays from Bomber in this game. And TaeJa suddenly is looking like he's in a lot of trouble. He's been going off against a 3-base Terran for so long. Bomber has been maxed out. And now he's going to start sacrificing Marines to take out TaeJa's army. And if he gets anything close to an even exchange, then TaeJa is going to lose in the long term. I think, I think he's definitely getting something close to an even exchange. And TaeJa is in a lot of trouble. I mean, Bomber's still losing a ton of units here, but when you're maxed out, you can afford to lose more than the opponent. It's just a matter of getting your opponent down enough. You've actually got a bit of harassment here. The Marines coming out. Really nice play there. I don't know how he got those Marines back there, but it was a beautiful play. And really, this is what TaeJa really needs to do. Getting the economy back to some sort of even footing. He's got the amount of workers that he needs. He just needs to make sure that they're mining off the same amount of bases. And now they are, but Bomber choosing to push in hard. Really hard here. He's pushing off on both fronts, and TaeJa, in trying to get this 3rd base down, has stretched himself out too thin. And Bomber had the numbers there, so he's pushed in both fronts, taken it out both fronts. And TaeJa just completely got owned there. He basically had no choice there. He could not just keep on one front, hold one front, because then the other base would have been exposed, and he could not sit back on 2 bases any longer. He just did not have the economy to keep up with Bomber anymore. So, I mean, he knocked back Bomber's 3rd base, and he could have tried to do that constantly, but even then, I mean, the times that Bomber had his bases up, it would have been just too much. So He had to try and make it work, but it was, in the end, Bomber just had too many forces, and TaeJa had to concede. Bomber saw the opportunity, he went in, he made it work. It was beautiful. So congratulations to Bomber. A little bit sad that TaeJa didn't make it into the grand final, because TaeJa, of course, one of the Terran players which we know can do awesome things in a grand final scenario, especially against an awesome player like Xhaidong. But Bomber, man, after seeing him play against Scarlet, I know he is going to be doing awesome things against Xhaidong in the grand final. So yeah, that is it. Grand final coming up. That's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for that. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.